Lightwing Zach is finally catching the nerf. We've been waiting on this for a while. That is going to be interesting. There's a lot of going on in this patch, actually. So let's go through and talk about everything we got going on, and see what we think about it. We're getting 4 new heroes total in this patch. There's Thor. Let me move this over here. Let's do this. There's Thor, who is a new water Lego. There's Aubrey, who is a new dark Lego. I don't have any information about their kits yet. We do have some pictures, so I'll put pictures up on the screen as we talk about them. We've got Arya and Jabez, who are 2 new dark epics. No new elites still. I am trying, guys. I am making as much noise as I can to get us some new elites. I think there are some holes that need filling in the elite section in this game, and it's wild to me. I haven't seen a new elite since I've been playing, and I've been playing since almost global launch. So I can't say with confidence they've never added new elites, but they haven't done it since I've been here. And I don't want that to be the case. I don't want to get in this situation where they forget about the elites. I don't want this to be a game that becomes about having epics and legendaries. I want us to have a good elite roster too. I think that's very important. And they do a really good job. The elites in this game are great. All their kits are very interesting and for the most part useful. I think they do a good job. I just don't want them to start neglecting it too heavily. So I'm trying. I'm bugging them every time they talk about new champs and there's no elites. I'm on them about it. This right here, this custom gear set. This might be the biggest. This might be the most game-changing thing they've dropped since launch. This is pretty huge. If you ever played 7 Deadly Sins, I expect it to be something similar to that, where you can move whole sets of gear from champ to champ without having to do it one piece at a time and hunt it all down, right? You can save a set of gear that you can then move as an item. So it's going to make it a lot easier to do deeper dungeons and harder content, right? You can take your best sets of gear, put them on a queen team. When you're done farming queen, you can take those sets and move them over to a Tulpa team or your arena. You know what I mean? Like you can now move sets of gear around. This is pretty huge. I personally like to just build my champs. I don't really like to move gear around. I came from Summoner's War, and that was just not the way it worked in Summoner's War. So that's just kind of the where I grew up in this space. So for me, I like to build on my champs. I'll probably utilize this as we're getting our account, both of our accounts, honestly, to a place where I'm capable of building every champ the way I want to have them built instead of moving gear around. But especially in a game where upgrading your gear is so difficult. This game is very, very brutal with upgrading gear. It's not like even something like Raid where you just farm your silver and then upgrade your gear, and it's very expensive and it's brutal, but you can just go farm it again and it adds up fairly quickly. Here it's not quite like that. You have gear charms that when you're newer in the game it feels like you're getting showered with, but that's going to slow down drastically. And then you can crunch gear into dust to level up your gear. But again, it's a long, brutal grind. You have to be real careful about that. So in this game, this might have more of a spot right now where you just can't afford to roll all your gear to see how it rolls, right? You kind of have to only roll the pieces that could potentially be amazing once you get to a certain point. So this alleviates that a bit. You have a good set. You can move around to your damage dealers depending on who you're using where. Pretty huge. It's going to be interesting to see how it gets implemented, what the interface looks like, what it actually looks like in action, because sometimes things on paper aren't quite the same once they get put in the game. So we'll have to wait and see. But this is pretty cool. This is a pretty big deal. This is a big deal for the game. Added a new function of the backpack, discard multiple gear. This is also really nice. I think that the whole gear system needs some attention. I think it's nice that we have the sorter, and in a lot of ways it's great, but it's also kind of clunky. Managing your gear is tough in this game. If you're not staying on top of your gear as it's coming in, it's going to get out from under you real quick, and it's hard to go through and cleanse, right? It's a little too clunky to go through and reasonably cleanse your gear. So having this function, I think, is going to help. I still think it needs some love. Still think it needs some more attention, some more refining, but we're heading in the right direction. That's one great thing about Ace is every time they drop one of these updates, we're heading in the right direction in multiple areas of the game. So I have full confidence they'll get it there. I just don't think it's quite there yet. But this is a great addition to it. Another new gameplay mode. They're adding so much content so quickly. Ruins of Gods. I don't know that I have any idea what this is. It could be the third tab in that Lost Sanctuary. Maybe. You know what I'm talking about? It could be that. I don't know. I have no idea what Ruins of Gods is. But it also says added guild ranking list and optimized part of the interface. We'll have to see. Maybe something has been said about this and I just don't know what it is. But this is the first I've heard of Ruins of Gods. So it'll be very interesting to see what the new gameplay is there. We have a Thor banner dropping when Thor drops. It'll be a 3x banner. You know, I think it might be time to up it to maybe 5x at least. I pulled 5 legendaries on this last banner that had Belbereth, Garnet, and Holy Armor Virgil. I pulled 5 Legos on that banner, and none of them were the banner Lego. I just don't know if 3x is doing it anymore. And I don't necessarily want to be guaranteed the banner champ. I don't mind it being a little bit of a gamble still. But I think if you pull 5 Legos on a banner, you should probably end up with that champ. You know what I mean? One of them, especially if there's more than one. I think 5 is plenty to ensure that you get the champ. Hero adjustments. All stats are max level and subject to the in-game effects. I don't really know what this part means. I don't know what that means. So we'll just gloss over it. Set adjustments. Revival can now be triggered up to 2 times per round, which I think is pretty huge, actually. I guess that's for people that are doing bonus turns. I wonder if it counts. I need to go back and look at the wording of the revival set. Yeah, I guess it's for people that are doing bonus turns. I don't know exactly. I'd have to go look at the wording of it. All right, now we're getting to our champ changes here. Vance attacks only ignore damage reduction and shield on the target. I need to look at what Vance does to see what the change is. It would be nice if they'd put his current skill in these notes as well. I believe this is a nerf, if I'm not mistaken. His trait, attacks ignore all of the enemy's positive effects when attacking. Oh, so now he only ignores damage reduction and shield. Interesting. So yeah, that's quite a nerf. That's a pretty good nerf. Lightwing Zach, trigger limit to where this ability can now only get 1 extra turn trigger in any turn. One extra turn trigger in any turn. Does that mean enemy turns? Or does that mean his turn? So basically a round. Does that mean he can only get 1 extra turn per round now? Or 1 extra turn per enemy turn? Because that would still be pretty significant. He would still be pretty strong if that was the case. Also, revival set. I need to look at revival set because that might actually be a nerf to revival set. Revival set might not have had a limit before. Let's check it out. Yeah, that might be a nerf, actually. Restores 10% of max health at the start of the turn, or 20% if under 50%. So I think that's a nerf. I think it's more. It seems like it's more effort to nerf Lightwing Zach too, because you go revival on him, he keeps getting extra turns. He just keeps healing himself. Yeah, I think I for some reason was thinking it was just once a round, but no, that's actually a nerf to revival set. Interesting. Okay, I guess we'll have to see. I feel like we need a little bit more wording work on the wording here. Add the trigger limit, and this ability can only get at most one extra turn trigger in any turn. Yeah, well, I'll have to see. Maybe you guys know what that means better than I do. Evelyn first on, increasing her damage from 80 to 120%. Okay, and then increase damage from 100% to 150%, and call in a joint attack from the ally with the highest attack. That seems like a substantial buff. Crazed Arzog is getting a buff. Nice. Imogen buff upon any grants moonlight. Okay, this grants one stack of moonlight. Fine. When removing the positive effect successfully, increase the damage to the main target by 30%. Corrupt Aurak restores HP, will be based on the max health. Damage scales with max health. Swap the order of defense and health. Interesting. Spell adjustments. This one's pretty big because I lean on Water Prison pretty heavily, and now they've made it where it can be resisted. I don't love that because I lean on it pretty heavily. Yeah, that's gonna change. Like I use it with my Windstrex on my main account a lot. If there's another Windstrex, right? If I'm faster than the other Windstrex, I'll just stun her and then use my skill so that she can't cut my team. Now I'm going to have to make sure that my Windstrex has focus so that I can still do that, right? And then I also use it a lot on my Elites Only account. I actually use it almost everywhere. All of my arena teams use it. So yeah, I guess that'll be interesting. Stone Shackles. The health recover effect requires the target to be petrified to take effect. I don't use petrify, so I don't even know what this is referring to be honest. I don't know what Stone Shackles is. I mean, I know what it is. I'm saying, like, I don't use it. I think it's dumb. I think it's a dumb spell. Maybe there's a way to use it that I haven't discovered yet that is effective, but I think it's dumb. You either petrify an ally and they don't get a turn, but they heal, or you petrify an enemy and they don't get a turn, but they heal. It's like, well, why would I do that? Why wouldn't I just stun them? I haven't even tried to use this spell in a long time, so I don't even know if it's different. It's been a long time since I've equipped it at all. Hero Recall. Because they nerfed Vance and Lightwing Zach, you can now do a recall on these guys. And that's nice. That's a great thing that these guys do, because a lot of us invested in Lightwing Zachary because he was broken, and putting him on arena defense is, you know, a good move. And now he's not going to be so broken. So if you want those resources back, you can get all those resources back. That is a really cool thing that they do. July 6th through the 12th is when that'll be open. Same for Vance. I was actually about to build a Vance too on my main account, and now I don't know that I care to build one. So we'll see what we do about Lightwing Zach. I don't know. Fix the issue of incorrect round statistics in the battle. Fine. And then, yeah, that's all fine. So pretty interesting. I think this is going to change. It's definitely going to change the scene in arena a good bit. Having Lightwing Zachary not be what he's been for so long now is I think we're going to start to see some different things going on in defense. I still think arena needs a lot of work. I think the whole system needs a lot of work. Oh, y'all couldn't see the spell adjustments, could you? Here, I don't really know what to do about that, to be honest. Here, let's do that. There. Pretty straightforward stuff anyway. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I do think arena still needs some work. I think I'm not a fan of getting punished so heavily after only 6 rounds. I think they need to let us go longer in arena. As someone who's a big fan of a bruise comp, I like my arena fights to last a little longer, generally, because of the types of teams I like to build. I like to go in and fight different kinds of teams, with different comps. I don't just want to Windstrex everything, you know what I mean? I like to test my arena defense with my arena offense, and all these things are very difficult when you only have 6 rounds before you start getting punished for being in there. So yeah, pretty interesting update. It's gonna be fun to see the new heroes, of course. Going to be interesting to see how the custom gear set thing gets implemented. We're going to have to check out the new gameplay mode. Lots going on. It's a pretty substantial patch, honestly. It's a pretty game-changing patch. That custom gear sets thing is huge. And then we got new gameplay, new champs. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. How do you feel about the Lightwing Zachary? If you feel like it was long overdue, or are you upset about it? How do you feel? I think it'll be good. I like a good meta shift. I like it when things get mixed up a good bit. So hopefully Arena is going to continue to head in the right direction. Arena needs a lot of work. But like I said, I'm optimistic. I feel pretty good about everything these guys are doing right now. So that's it. I'm going to get out of here. Interested to know what you think about everything. And we'll see you soon.